Hi, I'm Mike Winkler, and I'm the Principal Managing Broker for CBBain in Issaquah, Washington.
And I'm E.J. Bowles. I'm the Principal Managing Broker for CBBain on Mercer Island, Washington.
EJ, in our last video blog post, we talked about fair housing.
That's right.
And a lot of concerns with regards to discrimination for the buyer, but also to make sure that the seller understands their role as well. One of the things that a seller is most concerned with before they ever get to fair housing is, who do I choose to list my home?
And it's a question that I think sellers wrestle with, because what's their criteria? What are they going to use as a template, or what are the questions they're going to ask? One of the things that we've found is that the National Association of Realtors, in a recent study, mentioned that 94% of buyers use the internet to search for homes. So in a study that they did with sellers, we found out that there were certain things that sellers are really looking for when they're choosing their selling broker. The first thing would be the obvious, and that's online advertising. How does the listing broker use the internet and the web? What's their web presence like? Another important point to a seller is they want to see the best quality marketing materials and a high quality CMA competitive market analysis. Mike, what are a couple of other things that sellers are looking for?
Well, they're really looking for broker knowledge, and they want to make sure that the broker truly understands contracts, the area in which they profess to be an expert, and the market, the hyper-local market where their home is. Again, getting back to technology as a general theme, they want to see how the broker uses technology, and including video and social media.
That's right. And the other thing that we've found in these same studies is that once the property is on the market, the seller has some other things that now become paramount in the whole process of selling their home. And of course, the first one would be getting the best price, not leaving money on the table, which is always the seller's greatest fear. Another thing that they're looking for is the shortest time on the market, and also it's very important that the transaction close on time. What else, Mike? What else would they be looking for at that point?
Well, they're looking for convenience, which really is, they're looking for good service. They're looking for good communication, and they're really looking for a diligent effort on their behalf. They want to know that when they sign the contract and the sign goes up, that the broker is doing everything that they can, using all the tools to help sell their home most effectively, so they really can close on time and they don't leave money on the table.
And another thing that we found through doing research is that there are some statistics that sellers probably want to know about brokers, and brokers probably want to know about themselves, that speak to their level of proficiency in terms of selling homes. What are some of those, Mike?
Well, their average selling price, for example, and the percent of listings that they sold in the last year, the percent of their own listings that they sold in the last year. Those are two of them.
A couple of other things that they're looking for is the average days on the market of a particular broker's listings. If I list a lot of homes, but they're on the market for 2 or 3 years apiece before they sell, that probably means I'm not very good at pricing and maybe marketing. And then another thing that would be important would be, what's the ratio between your list price and your sell price? Presumably you'd like to think that you would sell relatively close to your list price, knowing that we've been in a challenging market where prices have fallen. I think they've stabilized now, but you know, what is that ratio like? And I think those are some of the main things that sellers are looking for.
And you know, a seller has the opportunity to contact their MLS. For example, in our area, the Northwest MLS, the average over a long history is about 97%. So they can kind of use that as a guide when they talk to their broker. And so as they discuss these points of interest, they're going to determine whether or not their broker really does have the tools, does have the knowledge, understands their market, and is going to be able to communicate effectively with them, which, if they can do it with the seller, they can presumably do it with other folks as well.
Well, and after all, this is all about one thing, and that's getting a sold sign up in front of the seller's house. I'm E.J. Bolds.
I'm Mike Winkler. Till next time.